Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on July the 30th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of the news, the most important thing that we saw today was the FOMC. And as expected, the Fed kept everything the same, and they provided basically support for as long as the economy would need. And that was good for stock markets, not so good for the US dollar. And in terms of the news that we have, sorry, excuse me. In terms of the news that we have coming up here on Thursday, we have preliminary GDP numbers from Eurozone. We have advanced GDP numbers from the US, and that is expected to drop quite a bit here. And that may send the US dollar lower if the number comes at that level, or if it's even worse, that would be negative for the US dollar. But we'll also have to look at the impact on the stock market. So right now the stock market is at an interesting place because there is that exuberance in terms of the monetary policy basically staying low for as long as it's needed for foreseeable future. At this point, basically, Powell said that he's not even thinking about raising rates at this point. So basically, there will be a long-term low rate scenario as far as things stand right now. All of that is good for the stock market. But if the numbers start coming out weak, and if we see that the recovery has stalled, now that may have a negative impact on the stock market. So we'll have to see what really happens in terms of that. So for now, though, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. If more negative data comes out, that will start having a negative impact. And then we also have manufacturing PMI numbers out of China. These will impact the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. Euro still looking strong, nice bullish move. Now it should be coming into resistance here. This has been a big move to the upside. And now with Fed not changing a whole lot, basically things just have stayed the same, and Fed hasn't done much in any direction really. So here it is bullish, bias is still bullish, but just to be cautious because we are into resistance now. And if we zoom out a bit, price hasn't been at this level in quite some time. So this is where we are. This is major support resistance level that hasn't been tested in a long time, since 2018 here. So watch out for that. See how price came in here and then it had dropped. So now we'll have to be careful at this support resistance level. If it does move through this though, then next target would be 1.1850, and then we're looking at 1.1900. So this is bullish for the time being, but if it doesn't go through our resistance at 1.1800, we're looking for that drop there. So for now, bias is bullish with caution. Pound dollar here, pound is looking bullish as well. We see price has been going up for a number of days, and so bias still is bullish, but again, I would be careful here because this is into a resistance as well. So this is where we are. Price is into support resistance level, so watch out for it, but bullish. Should it go through today's high, next target is 1.3070. And then above that, we're looking at 1.3120. So bias is bullish here for pound dollar as well. Just be a bit cautious here. Aussie dollar here, this one's looking bullish as well, but it hasn't really managed to go through the resistance yet. It did close bullish, but it's right into that resistance here, which is the high of this little range it has traded in over the last few days. So the concern would be if it doesn't go through here, because last time price was here, it did turn around. We may see price drop from there, so that will be the concern. But bias is bullish. Once it gets through this resistance though, then we're looking at 0.7235, and then above that we are looking at 0.7265. So bias is bullish. First target 0.7235, then 0.7265. Excuse me, but I would keep an eye on this resistance level here. New Zealand dollar here, this one is actually looking weaker. We see that price hasn't really done a whole lot over the last several days here. It's still holding below this top of the range here at 0.6700, and it's still trading in this range. So bias is neutral to slightly bearish. I will look for a move down towards 0.6600. So neutral to bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one is looking weak. We see that price has held here below previous low. It's close to the support, so this is where we have to be mindful of it. But it is looking bearish, so looking for a drop here for our dollar CAD. Next target is 1.3260, and then below that 1.3200. So bearish bias here for dollar CAD. Euro pound here, we see price dropped yesterday. Today it pulled back, and here as long as it holds below 0.9080, I will look for a further move to the downside here. Next target is 0.900, and then we're looking at 0.8940. So bias here is bearish still for Euro pound. Euro Swiss franc here, we see a nice pin bar here. This is looking bearish. Now keep in mind, prices is into support here, and if it doesn't break through, we could see a turnaround. So watch out for that. So bearish bias, and I'm looking for 1.0700. So bearish bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc here, this one's looking bearish as well. As we had discussed, this price did go into our resistance level, so this one has been trading in a range for now, and it has rejected the high of the range, so looking for price to come back down here towards the bottom of the range. Target is 1.1740. So bearish bias here for pound Swiss franc as well. Dollar Swiss franc, this one still looks bearish here. We saw the break through the support. So now looking for a further move to the downside, a continuation move here. Target is 0.9070. So bearish bias for dollar Swiss franc as well. Pound yen here, pound yen is trading in a range. Right now, we do have a bullish candle close, but it's right into coming into that resistance level here. So if it doesn't make it through 136.65, we're likely to see a drop in that. So for now, bias is neutral to slightly bullish here for pound yen. If it goes through the resistance though, then we're looking at 137.50. So for now, we have to watch out and see what happens at the high of the range. If it doesn't hold, or if it doesn't go through, then we're looking for a drop back into the range. Euro yen here, this one is, we do have a bullish candle close here, but we have to see if price is able to go through that resistance here at 123.80. If it doesn't hold above that level, I will look for a move back down towards 123. So for now, bias is neutral to slightly bullish. If it does get through the resistance here, 123.80. Next target is 124.30. Dollar yen here, this one's looking neutral overall, still bearish here. And at for this one here, at this point, I am looking for a little bit of a pullback. If price holds below 105.20, then looking for a further drop here, 104.60, and then 104. So bearish to neutral here for dollar yen. Aussie yen here, this one's still looking neutral here. We do have a bullish candle close, but it's not looking very strong. So if price holds below 75.50, we may still get that drop lower here. So for now, neutral bias here. And if it holds below 75.50, then we're looking for a move towards 74.80 and then 74.20. So bias is neutral here for Aussie yen. New Zealand here, New Zealand yen here, this one's still looking bearish and looking for a move lower here. Our first target is 69.20 and then 68.80. The only thing to keep in mind would be the support level here at 69.75. If it doesn't get through that, then we have a problem and we may see this one go back up. So for now though, bias is bearish. 69.20 and then 68.80 will be the next two targets. Cad Yen, this one is looking a little weak. We did have a bit of a move higher here, but not looking super strong at the moment. So neutral bias here, and we'll keep an eye on our support resistance level at 79.00. If it holds below that, then I'm looking for a turnaround here, something like this. So neutral bias here for CAD Yen as well. And like usual, if we see the stock market drop, then all the yen crosses are likely to drop with it as well. So right now we'll have to see what impact we see on the stock market based on what's going on in the US. Fed is definitely concerned in regards to the recovery. They think the recovery is stalling. Now, we have seen stock markets go up tremendously, and if the recovery is stalling though, then we may start to see some profit taking coming into play. And when the stock market starts to sell off, then we generally see the yen crosses drop as well. So this is where we have to keep an eye on things in terms of stock market. So if we see that drop, we'll look for the yen crosses to drop as well. Pound New Zealand here, this one's looking bullish and looking for a further move to the upside here. Next target is 1.9560 and then 1.9635. So bias is bullish here for Pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, this one's looking bullish as well. Price is into resistance right here. So if it doesn't go through, we could see a drop. For now though, looks bullish. Next target is 1.7780. And then above that, we're looking at 1.7850. So this is bullish. Eurocad here, this one is trading sideways here. We do have a bullish candle close. Now, it has been range bound over the last 3 days. So only if we see move through the high would I look for the next target higher here. So for now, bullish to neutral, and next target here would be 1.5820. Pound CAD here, this one's looking bullish to neutral as well. This is not as strong as the other one that we saw. The CAD crosses are a little weaker than the New Zealand crosses that we saw here. So if it doesn't go through 1.7350, we could see a turn. So we have to be careful with this one here, but bullish still. So bullish to neutral. Next target, should it get through here, would be 1.7380, and then above that we are looking at 1.7430. So bullish to slightly neutral bias here. Euro Aussie is still sideways here. At this point, we have to wait and see where it goes. So neutral bias, it's been stuck in this range for the last 4 days. And should it make through today's high, next target would be 1.65. And if it does go through, we're looking at 1.6580. For now, though, this is neutral. We really need to see which direction this one breaks in before we can look for any sort of a trending move here. Pound Aussie, this one's looking neutral as well. It doesn't really have any strong candles in the last several days, which means that we could see things turn around. So neutral bias here if it doesn't go through the high, which is at 1.8120, then basically we're looking for a drop. So this is neutral as well. Let's take a look at our commodities. Silver here is looking neutral for 2 days back to back here. We have neutral candle close. So in this case, we may see a drop here again. What I'm looking for is first a pullback into 24. And if it holds above, looking for a further move to the upside. But right now, this is looking neutral here. Should it go through 24, we're looking at 23.30. So bias is neutral for silver. Gold here. Gold is also bullish to neutral. We see price moved in both directions here. Excuse me. It is pushing higher. So next target is 2,000. But if it doesn't break through the resistance here, we could see a drop. So watch out for that, although we may not see as big a drop. We may just see a move back into 1940. For now, though, bias is neutral to slightly bullish here for gold. Oil hasn't really done a whole lot. It's just been stuck in this very, very narrow range. It is looking around here. We could see a drop. For now, though, still stuck in this range between 42.40 and 40.50. So bias is neutral here for oil. Copper also stuck in a range. At this point, we have slightly bullish candle close. It's not looking super strong though. So if it doesn't get through this resistance at 2.90, then chances are we are going to see a decline. So for now, neutral bias, looking for it to trade within this range. Should it go through the high, next target here is 2.94. So neutral bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin is right into resistance here. And if it doesn't make through 11,366, we are looking for a drop back down towards 10,520. So neutral to neutral bias here. And as long as it's holding below, I would look for a drop back towards 10,520. Okay, looking at our stock market here, S&P 500, we did have a bullish candle close. Now price is into resistance. So at this point, we are right into resistance. So if for some reason it holds below today's high of 32.60, then I would look for a move back towards 31.90. So right now it is bullish with caution though. Should it get through today's high, then we're looking for a retest of this high here, which is 32.93. So for now, bullish, but with caution. Nasdaq here, same thing here as well. All the comments from Fed, the Fed statement, all of that was positive for the stock market. Basically, we are going to see low interest rates for the unforeseeable future, as well as lots of policy support here. The only thing we'll have to worry about would be if the US economy is not opening, the way everybody was expecting, can we still see the market push higher? And that one will have to be seen. Or do we see profit taking coming into play now that the market has moved up so much? It's gone through the highs. And that's something we'll see what happens over the next few days here. For now, this is looking bullish. However, we are right into this resistance. If it holds below 10,750, then I will look for a move back towards 10,380. Should it go through though, then essentially we're looking for a test of 11,000. So for now, bias is bullish with caution though. And Dow Jones here, this one also held above this support level here. And as long as it holds above the support level, we are likely to see a further move higher. So bias is neutral to slightly bullish, but if it doesn't break today's high, as we can see, it's been trading in a very, very narrow range. So if it doesn't break this high at 26,700, we could see this one drop as well. So neutral to slightly bullish bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, as we can see, price wasn't really able to break the support. It has pulled back. With this one here, neutral to slightly bullish bias, I will look for a move towards 12,960, and if it holds below, we may see that drop again. So neutral to slightly bullish bias here for DAX. And FTSE here, slight move to the upside. It's still in a very narrow range. So at this point, next target is 61.90. And if it doesn't go through, we could see a drop. So we just need to see how the markets digest this information. So for now, neutral to slightly bullish bias for FTSE as well. And for Nikkei here, this one is looking bearish. We have a bit of a doji here, no strong move, but overall Nikkei has not been that strong over the last few days. So now it looks like it wants to drop here. So target is 22,250. That's the first target, and 22,000 is the second target. So bias here is bearish. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.